Hi and welcome to day 14 in Counting the Omer. We are in the Sephiroth's Malchut or Shekinah within Gevurah. It's the last day of this week of Gevurah. And I'm still very in the shadow side of the Gevurah energy. It's coming up a lot for me today and the last couple of days. And it's all about judgments. Judgments towards ourselves and judgments towards each other. It's like when I'm doing this practice, everything within me, which is not in alignment with a higher mind, is coming up to the surface to be released, to be healed and integrated. And this is truly the beauty of counting the Omer and the Kabbalah. It's like putting up the intention and walking through the desert for 50 days and allowing the tree of life and the change in the energy day by day to work through me. By itself, it brings up the shadows. And it's always in alignment with the energy. It's just, for me, incredibly interesting and magical. So let me be vulnerable with you guys here. What's alive in me in this moment is this judgments towards my body, towards myself and shame, and how this keeps me separated from my lover and from love in general, this endless river of love that flows through me, which is who I am. Every time I create a judgment towards my body or towards something within myself, I separate myself from that love. And I feel that so strongly, like a separation. It feels like a door comes up between me and my soul. And I need to find the key again to open the door and to walk into heaven, the heavenly mind, the heavenly heart that vibrates constantly in this love, in this allowance and peace and harmony and compassion for everyone, including myself. It's interesting how we also magnetize in mirrors towards us. And I got so triggered right now because I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across someone who shared a long post about women and how, he was so, how can I say, he was so frustrated about women complaining that men were only approaching them for sex and not for having a more deep relationship or with respect. And he had written a long post about this and how women have to change how they look, how they dress, how they sit, and how they behave, and that they needed to start self-reflecting if they wanted to be approached differently. And there was over 500 comments on this post, only men, celebrating this man's post and agreeing to him in such a deep way. I'm like, wow, brother, these are words of truth and things like that, And I could feel, my own frustration and anger and judgments were just starting to boil within me. And then the sadness came, because I see how this is just feeding the beast and creating more separation between us. He sends out a great big judgments towards women because he already feels judged by the woman. So these judgments, this Gevurah in the shadow is just, going between us like a ping pong ball, and we are just playing this game of ping pong, you put shame on me, I put shame on you. Bang, 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 bang. We go back and forward and we create separation like crazy. Whew, it makes me tired even. I just want to put down that record and relax, Can we just stop playing this game? I don't want to play this game anymore. I want to address this in a mature, responsible way. Yes, there are many women out there who judge men. And yes, there are many men out there feeling judged. And the women feel judged by the men. But we are all suffering in this. We are all the same. We are the same coin. We just look at it from two different sides. And it makes me a little bit sad, a little bit angry, frustrated, that it's possible, to share so much bullshit out there. And so many people are reading this and taking this to be the truth about something. Whew. Well, this is ignorance, on the most, in the most perfect example. And how we keep ourselves there in the ignorance, because facing the truth within can sometimes be so hard. How would it be if that man who created this article wrote an article about, hey, woman, when you judge me for only wanting you for sex, that actually hurts my feelings. Because it's not the truth about who I am. I also am longing for this deep connection. But I see you as so hiding and making this appearance of you, which is not the truth of who you are. And then I don't know how to approach you, so I get completely disorientated and shallow myself. And that's why I approach you for only the sex, because you are hiding behind this I don't know, beautiful wallpaper, and I can't find you behind that. So I kind of connect with you on this shallow level because your appearance is shallow. But it breaks my heart because I'm so longing for this deep connection and intimacy, and I'm so longing to be loved by you and seen by you. Please stop judging me, and I will stop judging you so we can come together, be intimate and be vulnerable and open-hearted with each other. It's a long way to walk, to become such a queen or king that you're able to address something like this so open-heartedly and so lovingly and vulnerable. It's so much easier to judge that other person, judge the woman, judge the man, judge ourselves, because we are all separated and scared and lonely. And we are afraid that other people will not like us, that they will judge us just like we judge ourselves and just how we judge others. But what if we just stop judging and going into that wound, going into that fear behind the judgment, going into the loneliness, the separateness, going into all those wounds where we once were judged by someone, or we judged ourselves so hurtfully that we created a separation between us and our soul and God. I think this vulnerability is what can actually bring us to that queen or king, which is the Malchut and the Shekinah, the manifested soul, spirit within us in the physical. How can we become one with that? I think it's about breaking down all those protective layers, those walls we have built up against other people around our hearts. That comes from fear and anger, resentment. Remember who we are behind this body, behind all these layers of personality and conditions. Because behind all of this body suit that we're in right now, behind there is this beautiful soul. There is light and love and peace and feelings of security and safety, feelings of connection, feelings of oneness. So I want to make a prayer today. Maybe you want to connect your hands into prayer pose, because it's a hand mudra that actually creates a certain energy within your body. It brings together the masculine and the feminine. So interlace your fingers into a prayer pose So you bring the masculine and the feminine together in front of your heart. Dear God, I call upon you from a place of vulnerability today, because my shadows and my judgments towards myself and others are so alive in me today. And I ask you to please help me release it. Because it's hurting me and it's coming up between me and other people. And I know this is something which we all are struggling with here on earth. And that keeps us from fully merging with our essence and light and love coming from you. Please remove our ignorance so we can see the truth about who we are and who they are, our neighbor, our brother, our sister, our father, our mother. Our lover, our children, our friends. Help us to heal that void between us. Bring us into union and harmony with each other. Show us the way so we can stop all the wars within this world, within ourselves. Dear God, this human mind seems so limited sometimes, so lacking of love. It's hard to understand sometimes how this could be, how we could be created this way. So disconnected, so separated from your love. There are so many things I cannot understand from this human mind. Please bring me out of confusion into oneness, into light. Into that mind where I am the queen or the king or both, being in union with each other. Teach me how I can observe without getting too involved. Show me the way, show us the way to our hearts. Show us how we can open the door and let more light in, more love in, so we can share that light and love into this world of ignorance. Teach us how to be vulnerable and open with each other. And please, dear God, send your angels to surround us today I call in Archangel Michael to cut through all illusions and show us the truth about ourselves and others. And I call in Archangel Raphael to work with our hearts, to heal our hearts with your beautiful green light. And give us the power to heal, dear Raphael. And I'm calling in Archangel Gabriel to heal our emotional wounds and to guide us through our intuition, to clear out all trauma between us. And I call in Archangel Uriel to help us have this higher vision, to step into wisdom, so we can become that eagle flying high and seeing everything from a higher perspective. Learning from our lessons and developing a clear mind without illusions. Without confusion. May we see clearly. And I bring all of your power within my heart and I call upon Yeshua. May your heart be my heart. May the love you came with and showed us when you were here radiate within my heart, within everyone who's listening's hearts as well. May you show us the way through our hearts, dear Yeshua. And I call upon Mary Magdalene to bring up the shadows within us so we can see it and release it, so our lights can shine brighter. Amen. May you release all your judgments or negative judgments, because judgments can also be positive. Sometimes we need to use this diamond Gevurah energy and see clearly what's good and what's bad for us, what's supportive and what's not, what's a healthy protection and what's unhealthy protection, what's a good boundary and what's a boundary made from fear. May this last day of this week working with Gevurah bring you new insights. Release what you don't need to hold any longer, so you can be closer to your own light and with God within. Namaste. Thank you for listening.